Hey, it's been a couple weeks, but there's been no dust ups here. And yeah, except for the fact that I can't say anything. But we got a lot to talk about on this podcast, and it's all coming up right now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Phil, thank you for the intro. Although you did stumble upon that a little bit, but I'm glad you admitted it.
It's amazing. I've heard the phrase "dust up" so many times.
Live television. That's what live television is all about, because that's what we do here when we go live. Thanks for joining, everybody. We really appreciate it. We'll kick it around here for a few minutes, try to get some folks into the room, get the conversation going. But it's been we didn't do one last week. We partnered up with our boy Toothpick from the First String podcast. So if you haven't, go check out his show. We love our guy Toothpick. He's chilling in Texas, man, in Cowboys territory. We had a great show on his channel. Go sub up and like him. Then we released the top 5 on Tuesday. We did the top 5 supervillains. So make sure you go peep that here real quick. So today we're going to talk a lot about, I hate to say it, but it's going to be a lot of wide receiver talk, man. It seems to be the talk of the town with Terry, with his extension, with the other wide receivers performing. So I think today's going to be a very wide receiver day. And so without further ado, let's just go ahead and kick it that way. So if you're paying attention to Twitter, which most people tend to do, Dan Orlovsky, if you know Dan Orlovsky, he was a backup quarterback throughout the league. Can't say how far he made it in life, but I want to post his tweet. He made this tweet right here. Sorry. Fuck that one up. He made a top 10 list of, here we go. Top wide receivers. I'm going to say it right now. These number 1 wide receivers change how defenses play an offense. On Mondays, defensive coordinators sit down on what to do with fill in the blank. To him, those wide receivers are Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, Michael Thomas, Cooper Kupp, DeAndre Hopkins, DK Metcalf, and Deebo Samuel. So, man, fellas, that's a pretty bold statement. And so, with all that being said, we have Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin's our WR1. He's our wide receiver 1. He's our guy. And you know what? He hasn't shown up to camp yet. Some people are panicking. Some people aren't.
Put me in the aren't camp.
I'm not too worried myself.
Put me in the aren't
camp.
Yeah,
I'm still in the camp that John Dotson is the Terry McLaurin insurance policy. I said it right after the draft. I'm not confident that Terry's going to get the deal done, and I'm fairly certain that it's going to be the Jahan Dotson show next year or the year after if they're trade him. So that being said, what do y'all think about this tweet? Dev, I'll go to you. How do you feel about Dan Orlovsky's tweet, and do you agree with the folks that he listed on there? You're muted, bro. I'm mute.
Dev, you're muted.
Yeah, there's more than that. But like right off top, man, there's not one guy on that list that you can say for certain McLaurin is better than DK Metcalf's an if. Because I think that if you look at potential, I think Terry's better than him because Terry runs all the routes. Terry catches deep passes as well as intermediate passes. He also can catch passes out of the backfield. I think he's a more complete receiver than DK, but I don't think he has the physical tools that DK has. And but yeah, I mean that's a push. But everything else on that list, yeah, for sure, man. Everybody on that list I would take over Terry. Like if they're on, like Michael Thomas hurt all the time, but Michael Thomas ain't hurt. He's better than him. And I got more than that. If I was in this mind, it would be more than that. There's a lot of guys that's close though. Like they ought to have tiers. If there's a tier system, there's a lot of guys in the same tier as Terry. A lot.
Give me an example. Who's a guy who's in the same tier as Terry in your estimation?
Brown that got traded to the Eagles.
So you think that he's in that AJ Brown category?
Yeah, like I think AJ Brown's better than him. But if I had to choose one, I may choose Terry because he's dependable. AJ Brown's hurt a lot. He only played 6 games last year. He played like 8 or 9 the year before that, and still got $25 million. That's why Terry is going to ask for $25 million because everyone else is going to get $25 million. Terry's stats are better than Brown's.
How much of this conversation do you think is driven by hype?
I think that the way I look at free agency, the way I look at Terry is this though. I look at it like, what if Terry wasn't on Washington's team and he was on like another team, like Detroit, and he was going to be a free agent? How much would you spend to get him? Right? Would you spend $25 million to get Terry if he was a free agent? I mean, that's
given the market, given the current market, wide receivers, you can thank Christian Kirk for fucking this all up.
Christian Kirk only gets $18 million, man.
Yes, and Christian Kirk was not worth $18 million, but he got it. Now everybody else's price tag got inflated. That's what I'm saying.
I kind of agree with that, but I feel comfortable. If Terry got paid $22.5 million, I still think that's too much because he would be the worst $22.5 million receiver in the league, man. And I love Terry. I want him back, man. I want to pay him back, and I won't be mad no matter how much they pay him. But if Washington was to say, I'm going to franchise you 2 or 3 times because it's still cheaper than $25 million at receiver. So why wouldn't they franchise him? Like if you're Washington, why wouldn't you just keep franchising this kid, man? It's going to be cheaper. It does, and he's going to be, when he signs his contract, the thing about Terry is Terry has to make it work because this is probably his biggest and only big contract because he'll be 28 when it starts. So when Terry's 28 years old, when the contract ends, he'll be like 32, 33 years old. So at that point, he's definitely not going to get $25 million a year. So he's got to ask. Terry has to ask for $25.
I'd pay him $24-25 million right now. See, here's the thing. This is where you got to draw the line between ridiculous and reasonable. All right. We know Cooper Kupp's getting what, 26, 27 million a year, depends on the year. He's in that range.
Kupp is better than McLaurin.
Kupp is better than McLaurin. All right. But here's the thing. I'm hearing arguments that Kupp is not better than McLaurin. And I'm hearing arguments that, well, Terry's the face of the franchise. You give him whatever he wants. And I said, how much is whatever he wants to you? And I've heard numbers as high as $35 million a year. Yo,
man, those are Washington fans. Like
first
I said,
of all,
if Terry was on Detroit,
these are Washington fans I respect. Like, you don't just throw money just to throw money, right? First of all, Terry isn't the face of the franchise. Like it or not, the face of the franchise is the guy who you're going to market the most. This team doesn't market Terry like it markets Chase Young. Chase Young's the face of your franchise. That's the first thing you have to recognize. All right. Guy, when his contract comes around, if he's producing by then, that Terry contract is gonna look like a bargain.
Man, that's the other kicker, right? Like you said that if you were to pay him $24-25 million, in about 3 years it might not look so bad. But the thing is, in 3 years, is he still worth $25 million? Because he'll be in it 30 years old. And
that's true.
He's not a running back. He can play past 30 years old and be an effective receiver.
He definitely is going to be an effective receiver. He's definitely worth a number 1 receiver price tag. I'm not saying Terry's not worth getting paid or won't extend him. I'm saying $25 million is a whole lot of money for a guy who's not doing $25 million a year receiver shit. And we can keep saying this that so and so had this quarterback. Man, I remember Hopkins had no quarterback in Texas before Watson got there. I remember Diggs had nobody before Cousins got there, dog. Them dudes was better than McLaurin at that time. Stop lying to yourself. If McLaurin was on Jacksonville and a free agent, you would not pay $25 million for McLaurin to come here as a free agent, dog. You wouldn't do that. You're doing it because we drafted him. We love him. He's a good player. He's a great player, man. But
welcome to the show, Greg. Joe Harris. Greg says at the same time, how would Terry's price tag had he would be drafted by the Chiefs, Buffalo, or Josh Allen? Now I will say this.
We'll see because Juju McCluster is going there. Is Juju McCluster?
No.
Schuster better than Terry?
What I think he means is that had Terry McLaurin had Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen from his rookie year and not Dwayne Haskins.
It's fun to say that, but it's fun to say that. But before Allen got Diggs and another All Pro and the other dude, Cole Beasley, he's All Pro, bro. He's not an All Star, he's All Pro. He has 2 All Pro receivers. 2 seasons before they got there, that dude was like, man, maybe we got the wrong guy.
But 2 receivers. So you're making comments towards Josh Allen because I know how you feel about Josh Allen.
Same thing down in the Same thing down in the Cardinals before he got B-Hop. What they do when B-Hop went out? What they do? You see what I'm saying? McCoy won more games without B-Hop than the quarterback they got there now. Facts. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, y'all keep thinking these quarterbacks are going to make these receivers, but we've seen these receivers make these quarterbacks. What did Cincinnati do before Chase got there? I mean yeah.
Joe Burrow came in at the same time, so it's hard to say.
No, Burrow came in a year later.
Don't put a name on the quarterback. I think the question should just be, what if Terry had a real franchise quarterback from the day he started? Yes, his value would be way higher because he would have been better, I think.
We'll see, man. He got a better quarterback.
There's been nobody else.
He has a better
quarterback. There's been nobody else. I mean, we know Heineke's arm. Look at Heineke's arm.
I don't doubt that he can be all that y'all want him to be. But until I see 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns, man, like these guys getting $25, $26 million is getting, I can't pay you that, bro. I could franchise you 3 times cheaper than that. Why would I do it? It's bad business. And it's also bad business to let a guy like that walk. I get it. But, man, think about it. We still got to pay Sweat, Payne, and then after that comes Curl. All these guys are going to have to get paid, man. You're going to put $25 million in receiver that we just drafted a guy number 1 at the same position.
But when
you still got to pay
guys, but when some of these other guys come due, Terry's contract's going to be run of the mill
it almost feels like they have to do it, though. It almost feels like they have to do it because why would you trade all that shit for Wentz if you're not going to get him, secure him a weapon? Like, you almost feel like you have to. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, like, what if Wentz is terrible? And then you got that $30-something million free next year. And that next year is the year, man. Next year is the year that's like 5 quarterbacks that's going to be drafted in the first round, man. And Lamar Jackson and a bunch of other guys are free agents. Like that, next year is the year. If Wentz screws up, next year's the year you can get a guy that's going to be better than Wentz.
Define terrible.
I don't know what terrible would be what Heineke did.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure we're on the same page on that one.
Average to below average is what like you don't want to have. I
don't think Wentz has it in him to be as bad as Heineke got last year.
And if he's
I agree. I think the floor is much higher.
I think his weapons are a little better.
Greg says Diggs wouldn't put up the same numbers in Detroit.
Diggs put up those numbers with what's his face that came here for 1 year?
Case Keenum?
Yeah, he put up 1,200. Case Keenum, bro. Stop it. Golf is better than Case Keenum.
Case Keenum was made Terry. Look, Terry never had
Galladay put up
yards per catch averages with any other quarterback as he had with Case Keenum.
Case Keenum ball.
When Case Keenum was in there, and Case Keenum's probably the last quarterback who could really sling the ball downfield for us like that. Terry was taking the tops off of defenses. People say Terry can't do that now. Oh, he can. He just needs a quarterback who can give him the ball.
Yeah,
we haven't had that.
I think he'll have his best season this year, man, under Wentz. I swear I do. But I got to see it, bro.
Yeah. Joe Harris, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us. Marcus, good friend of the show, said, what's up, fellas? Terry McLaurin is number 1 receiver. We need to pay him.
But how much?
You're right. That's the question. I mean, it's somewhere between 20 and 25. We know that.
I put a hard limit at 25.5.
Yeah, I would not go over 25 personally.
The third highest paid receiver in the NFL.
Listen.
That's left. That's due for a contract.
Shannon
Zero
Sharp,
Pro
the day I
Bowl,
die.
zero All
You do not
Pros.
have to be the best player to be the highest paid player in the
You
league.
gotta have some kind of accolades, though.
You don't.
Gotta have
Back-to-back
you gotta
1,000-yard
you
seasons.
gotta be
You
at
don't.
least good enough. You gotta be at least good enough to go to
Look at the
80% of
quarterbacks.
the
Look
teams
at
to
the
be their top
quarterbacks.
receiver.
Look at the quarterbacks who got paid
He
over the
made
years.
people think that Taylor Heineke
Derek
was worth
Carr.
Derek Carr's a Pro Bowler,
Jared
bro.
Goff.
Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl leading the team.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl leading the team.
I don't know, man.
Right, everybody you say did some shit though.
Now,
like Terry's done nothing.
Now, going back to Dan Orlovsky's tweet, okay? Going back to Dan Orlovsky's tweet. Yes, I don't know if people actually game plan for Terry McLaurin. Just like we say this, Ryan Kerrigan. I think he's a good defensive end. I don't think he's great. I don't think defensive coordinators to say, oh shit, we're playing Ryan Kerrigan. What are we going to do? I don't think they game plan for Ryan Kerrigan. I'm not sure that people game plan for Terry yet. And you got to look at because we had Dwayne Haskins, we had Taylor Heineke, we had Ryan Fitzpatrick. Look at our quarterbacks. There's no need to really push the pass because, hey, we overload the receivers. We'll make we had no threat at quarterback whatsoever. So why would you have to game plan for Terry McLaurin? It's not, you see what I'm saying? So that's why it's hard to say that's why you can justify Terry not being in this list that Dan Orlovsky actually says. Does that make sense?
Yeah, look, man. I think there's no one on this list that Terry is better than. There's a couple guys on this list that Terry is as good as.
I agree. I don't think you can argue that. If someone could please argue that, I'd love to hear it, but I can't see it.
I can argue that if
Michael Thomas, maybe.
If he's as good as some of these guys on this list, then he should be on this list.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Marcus says salary cap experts know how to spread the money out. We have Sweat for 2 years and Young for 3 years. That's true.
Well, okay.
Here's a question.
We're not going to pay him, so
here's a question. No years and Curl for no years too pretty soon.
So we've all established that DK Metcalf that we don't think he's better than Terry, and Terry's probably better. Terry probably does more than DK.
I don't think Deebo Samuel's better than Terry at receiver. I think he's a better football player.
Would you pay them $25 million?
He's a better football player.
Would you pay them $25 million?
No, and he ain't making $25 million.
Would you pay them? It's not the question I asked.
No,
you would not pay any of them $25 million.
I'd pay some of them. I wouldn't pay Deebo Samuel 25.
Yeah, Greg says 25.
That's a lot. I mean, Debo's kind of might be worth it because he can do a lot of things, man. Like
here's the thing that bothers me too, is that everyone assumes we're the ones the organization are the ones lowballing Terry. Now, I know people say, well, we have a habit of doing this. No, we did have a habit of doing this. If you remember, that was the Bruce Allen years. Bruce Allen ain't here anymore. All right. We tried to throw 22 at Amari Cooper. All right. We went out and paid Curtis Samuel more, and we paid him was a little bit more than what a lot of people thought he was worth too. Now, so we're not we extended Jonathan Allen. He's one of the top defensive tackles in the league. We're not afraid to throw money around. We just went and got Carson Wentz. This team isn't afraid to throw money around and overpay. They're just not going to do stupid overpay. And let's hope.
I think Trent Stettles and Ioannidis will say differently. Huh?
Well, none of them deserve a stupid overpay.
Landon.
Well, all right. Well, let's transition to our next segment, fellas. And Dave, I'll start with you. We talked about Terry a lot. So based off that list that Dan Orlovsky made, where do we think Terry McLaurin, in the grand scheme of all receivers, where does he fit? So just Dev.
He's clearly a top 25. But
so in your opinion, we prepared this. Rattle off receivers. It doesn't have to be in like.
Yeah, I ain't put them in order.
This is the number 25. Just rattle off receivers that you think are better than Terry McLaurin at this point in time.
Right, Diggs is better than him. Amari Cooper is better than him. Mike Evans is better than him. Godwin, Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Hill, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, Michael Thomas, Lockett, Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods. That's pushy. but Robert Woods has been way more productive. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. I think the guys that are kind of close, Allen Robinson, depending on the year, but as far as his career, he's been better. Robbie Anderson is as good as Deebo Samuel, A.J. Brown, Juju Schuster, Mike Williams. Those guys, would you clearly take Terry over those guys? Terry's not
several of them.
Man, it's like some of them were like, it's close. And then you have to look at what they're making. They're not getting close to 25 million. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, you got to think, all these receivers in the league, man, there's a couple that's close. I think in the top 25, 28-ish, Terry's right in there, man, like easily. But he can move up and down. I think Terry in the long run will be as good as a lot of these guys, man.
Yeah.
I do think that. And if you want to pay him 25, I'm not going to hate on it. I just think that, man, I won't be mad if they don't. Why would you rush to do that when you can give him 21 now, franchise tag him? You can give him 23 next year, franchise tag him, and 25 a third year, franchise tag him. Why would you give him 25 now? That makes no sense for you to do it unless you're just doing it for optics to make everybody happy and smile.
That could be a thing. Greg says Debo's worth it for the 49ers. Yeah, he sure is.
He's like Draymond Green. Like Draymond Green is not good on any other team in the NBA. I don't give a fuck who you
Debo is worth so much more to the 49ers than Draymond Green is to the Golden State Warriors.
I don't know. Golden State got 4 chips. How many chips is Debo got?
So Greg says Godwin, Brandon Cooks, Juju. I don't know if I'd put Godwin.
Godwin's better than him, man. Look at the numbers. Men lie, women lie.
Yeah.
Never lie.
Man, here's the thing. You put Godwin. Who's throwing Godwin the ball?
Man,
I hate to say it.
He had Jameis Winston.
Godwin had as many touchdowns last season
better
as
than
Terry
Taylor
McLaurin.
Heineke and Dwayne Haskins.
Man,
that's all I'm trying to say.
That's not his fault. He was sharing time.
It's not his fault.
He's a second receiver and playing and got more numbers than McLaurin, bro.
Yeah. Hey, our boy Ricardo. He just started
Brandon Cooks got better numbers than all these receivers on this list.
Our boy Ricardo, he's been a longtime member of the Washington Football Addicts. Now, he just started his own group called the Washington Commanders Fanatics. Him and our old boy Jeroyce Monford. Go check it out. Hey, he says, how can you name guys like that who have great quarterbacks? Terry did it with mediocre quarterbacks.
Brandon Cooks did
easy
too.
to get production from good quarterbacks. Yeah, just like I said, Terry's had. Look at who he's had. It's
who's Brandon Cooks had?
He's been everywhere. Brandon Cooks is the most overpaid wide receiver in the NFL. Him and probably maybe DJ Moore.
Brandon Cooks' numbers beside McLaurin's, and look who's better with worse quarterbacks.
Brandon Cooks spent the first 3 years of his career getting passes thrown to him by Drew Brees. After that, Tom Brady.
After that, he's still balling out.
And then Deshaun Watson.
I bet was his last year better than Terry's?
That's debatable. He had more catches and less yards than Terry. Around the same in touchdowns too.
Before that too, Watson didn't play.
Yeah,
tore his knee up.
Greg says, I don't think so. Goodwin is not better than Terry. You know, Greg, I agree with you.
He might not be better, but he's as good, man. And he's a number 2. How can you say a number 2 whose numbers are better than your number 1s is not better than your number 1?
Dude, look at the quarterback, man.
Make it make sense.
Talent is obvious.
Yeah, Jameis Winston.
Talent is obvious.
Yeah, Jameis Winston.
Let me guess. So Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I didn't rank him below Deontay Johnson, bro. But Debo, he's a worse football player than Debo, but he's a better receiver.
Hold on. Okay, I got one for you. Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? Had 90 catches last season and 5 touchdowns, 912 yards. Terry McLaurin had 77 catches for 1,053 yards and 5 touchdowns. Is Amon-Ra St. Brown a better receiver than Terry McLaurin?
No, I don't think he's a better receiver than Terry McLaurin.
All right, then you can throw out a lot of your arguments about who had better numbers then. Because technically speaking, you're talking about dude who's equal here.
There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys I don't usually give 1 years to. Like guys that only did it for 1 year, I usually don't put them over him. Like I struggle with putting Chase over him. But he's so talented, you just feel like that's the case. I don't think Chase hasn't been more productive than Terry. But do you feel like Terry's better than Chase? No.
Chase was more productive than Terry last year.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, well, I guess. I mean, you count all the
more
stuff
catches, way more yards, way more touchdowns.
Hey, let's welcome
But
Derek.
again,
Derek, thanks for
how much is that is no quarterback and nobody on the other side to take the pressure off.
Hard to say that whenever they sucked the year before, and he was a guy that wasn't there.
Yeah. Hey, Derek. Hey, welcome our boy Derek to the show. Derek Manning, the AKA the Burgundy Boss. He says, do you rank him below Debo, DK, AJ Brown, and Deontay Johnson? I'd say he's below Debo, DK. AJ Brown, he's probably
I would
right
not
there
put
next
him
to.
below Debo.
I think AJ McLaurin is better than DK. I think AJ McLaurin is better than DK.
I think DK does not quite live, not last year especially, does not live up to the hype that's around him. I'm not saying he's not a great receiver, but everybody talks about, he's this physical freak. He's the most athletic receiver in the league. He can make these amazing catches, but it doesn't seem to come together.
He runs 4 routes
with DK.
He runs 4 routes, man, basically.
Hey, Marcus says Terry McLaurin has everything blocking. He can play the X, Y, and the slot. You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
Why I put him above DK.
He's got a large catch radius. He does. He plays bigger than his size. I will say that.
Yeah, he does not look like a 6-foot receiver out there. He looks more like he's 6'2".
Ricardo says Cooks had golf with McVay too. Hey, Josh Kirby. Hey, go check out our boy Josh Kirby. Kirby on Sports. We love Josh. Thanks for joining, Josh. Legend.
I like
Ricardo
golf.
says
I like golf, by the way.
Not below DK. I think people plan for DK more than they plan for Terry McLaurin. Now, and I will caveat that with Russell Wilson was the quarterback, so he could get DK the ball at any given time.
We're going to find out how good he is this year with Geno Smith throwing the ball. Geno Smith going to throw him some balls this year. We're going to see how good you are, DK.
Yeah, we will. I
mean, there's people in this fan base who have been keeping for Geno Smith to be our starting quarterback for the last I don't know how many years Geno's been in the league.
If I'm watching, I'm waiting to see how much Seattle pays DK too.
Phil, do you have a list of
guys who are better than Terry?
Yeah, Steve having all kinds of internet issues over today. What's going on over there?
Come on, Steve. We expect better from you.
We are struggling today, fellas.
As far as better than, it's a. Let me pull my list back up because I kind of stepped away from my list here that I had.
Well, in lieu of yours, I'll rip off mine. So this is in no particular order. I will say Terry's top 15. I know Dev has him kind of lower, but Devontae, Cooper, DeAndre Hopkins, Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson at the Vikings. I'm going to say Mike Evans, not a popular opinion. Tyreek Hill, if I didn't say him already, Jamar Chase. I'm going to say Debo only because of his versatility. Debo can do more in the running game than Terry does in the passing game. And I'm putting him right below DK Metcalf, which I think is about 12 maybe. Where I'm really struggling is where I rank AJ Brown. Just for all intents and purposes of this exercise, I'll put him right above. I'll put AJ Brown right above Terry McLaurin. But I'm not going to go put any of these other up-and-comers that people are talking about. People are talking about like T. Higgins.
See, that's the kind of thing I struggle with.
I'm not putting above CeeDee Lamb or T. Higgins or Godwin. Michael Thomas, we have no idea what he's doing. So to me, Terry's like 13, give or take.
You think Terry's better than Adam Thielen?
Yeah, I think he is. Right now, I think he is. Based on where Adam Thielen is in his age, I think he is.
I'm talking about for this season. You start football today. For this season, you'll take McLaurin over Adam Thielen.
All right, I'll say this: Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, absolutely. Justin Jefferson, I'd take over Terry. Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs,
Robbie Anderson. You wouldn't?
Yeah, dude. I don't think Robbie Anderson is that good. That dude's like a
Jamar Chase. I'd put ahead of him.
I think DJ Moore than Robinson.
He is.
It's really getting hard for me. And I'm saying these are people who are definitively better than Terry, right? Everybody else is in the same, you can argue, right?
Keenan Allen.
Keenan
Allen, I already said Keenan
He's
Allen.
on the downside of his career, I think.
Yeah, but I still think Keenan Allen commands more attention than people realize sometimes. Debo for his versatility.
What's that dude that plays for the Raiders? The other
Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, what about him? More productive.
He's good. I mean, yeah, that's a tough one.
Hunter Renfrow is hard to pin because
I mean he's never going to have the yards.
I think Hunter Renfrow, if Terry had Derek Carr throwing him the ball, Terry is more productive than Hunter Renfrow's.
Yeah,
I mean, right now I got Terry in the top 12, top 14 position easily.
Yeah.
I don't think Deontay Johnson is a better receiver.
I don't think Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
I think Deontay again has had certain benefits around him that Terry hasn't been afforded.
I think he's in that class though. Like if you had to put him in tiers, which is probably what we probably should have did. Yeah. I think that Deontay Johnson, DK Metcalf, our guy Terry McLaurin, guys like Mike Williams, Robbie Anderson, they're in that AJ Brown. They're in that category.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm trying to say.
But
so I feel like, but McLaurin, none of us getting paid. I mean, I agree. You should make McLaurin get paid like them. But AJ Brown, the only reason they paid for him because they gave up so much for him. If they hadn't gave up so much for him, Tennessee wasn't going to get AJ Brown there.
The market. You don't got to be the best player at your position.
The market did not call for AJ Brown to get $25 million when he got.
No, Christian Kirk set that market. Kirk set that market at 18.5 as a wide receiver 3/2. Brandon Cooks as an old wide receiver got 19.2, 19.3. They set the market, so it only went up from there. So that's why AJ Brown got. What did he get? 20.
Brandon Cooks better than Terry, man.
DJ Moore
got like close.
DJ Moore got 20. DJ Moore's getting 20. So, I mean, Ricardo, same thing I said. They would plan to attack Heineke so the ball doesn't get to Terry. Greg says Terry McLaurin is a great player. More important, his fan base needs a signing from Washington. Hasn't drafted a good receiver in years.
Right.
And third round pick.
The first round
and that's why they're going to pay him $25 million right there.
Third round pick. But here, from a player's perspective, it's like, why bother? I bust my ass with these mediocre quarterbacks throwing me the ball. I bust my ass, and you're not going to reward me with what the market pays me. If I'm Terry, I'm getting it. Like you said, Dev, he's 26.
Yeah.
A lot of players.
27. Will be 27 when the league starts.
24, 25. They got their deal. They'll get their next deal at 27, 28. He's on his first deal. So, you know what I'm saying?
He got to ask for 25. I'm not hating on Terry. Terry has to ask for 25, man. I just don't know if I'm watching it if I do it.
Marcus says top 13. That's where I put him. I'd say like 12, 13 right there. He's right there at 12, 13 on the cusp.
I think he could be.
And that's with garbage throwing in the ball with Ryan, with no, I'm not saying garbage. Dwayne, Taylor, Ryan.
Y'all realize that there's so many weapons on the team. He could have less numbers. Yeah.
Greg says he's better than Thielen. Marcus Davis, our boy Marcus. It's fair to put him at like 16. Hey, Marcus, I think Phil has something to ask you real quick, though.
Oh, I already brought it up to him earlier today.
Okay, just checking.
It's fair that you buy me my damn jersey.
Marcus says you have to judge on the quarterbacks they have and the wide receiver on the side of them. And that's what we're trying to say, Dev. You're judging based off past performance. So are we, but we're judging him on the lollipops that he's been getting thrown and still making
curve.
What I'm saying
is him on a curve.
I'm saying if you're Washington, why would you do that though? Like from a business perspective, like why would you do that when you can franchise him 3 times for less than that, and probably keep Payne and all them other dudes? It doesn't. Payne's probably gone, but either way it goes, you still got Curl, Sweat, Young, those guys to pay. Can
I quickly answer 2 things? Greg Delaney asked if Renfrow is a tight end. Just because Hunter Renfrow is white does not mean he's a tight end.
Now, that dude's one of the shiftiest slot receivers in the NFL.
Because he's white, it means he's a slot receiver, is what it actually It's fucked up.
The other one is that Mark is saying blah, blah, blah about
the
jersey thing. Listen, I can break your heart with one word. Oh.
Hey, so Marcus brings up a great point. The market right now is set by DK Metcalf. So if you go by our logic, at least mine and Phil's and Dev's, that DK Metcalf is a better wide receiver than Terry McLaurin.
DK hasn't got paid, has he?
He hasn't got paid yet.
Right.
He's coming up. His contract is he's in his last year of his deal. So 2022 he's on contract. 2023 he's an unrestricted free agent. They got to sign him. So Marcus is right. I never thought about that. His deal might reset the market. So he might get 25 if Terry holds out, which he should, which means Terry can just get even more.
They're both holding out though. So
they are both holding out. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Metcalf said yeah. So I want they got the same agent too, by the way, everybody. If y'all don't know that, they got the same agent, bro. So does AJ Brown. AJ Brown's agent too. That's why I think he might get 25, bro. But
Ricardo says Terry went from third round punt returner to number one wide receiver to rookie. Yo, he sure did. He sure did. Ain't no lie in that. And Ricardo puts him at 12 with poor quarterbacks and no talent on the other side. I'm with you. 12 is a fair spot.
Man, that's 12 receivers has been the Pro Bowls.
Number 12 warrant the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL? I don't think it does, but I think it's close. Because remember, a lot of the better players
23 is close.
23 is close.
Right.
23 is very close.
The highest paid
the
highest paid receiver in the league is Cooper Kupp, right?
I haven't. He got the most guaranteed money, I think. Yeah.
All right.
We could guarantee Terry $70 million, bro. That probably
You can over like 3.
Yeah. Over like 4. Over 3.
You give one of them Kirk deals.
Yeah. Marcus says, "Hey, what AGG? The legend of Antonio Gandy Golden continues. I hope he makes the team." Phil says he probably got water for everyone today, so the reports are that he's doing well, but you know,
you saw that one.
It's all good. Hey, the next thing I want to talk about, the NFL Top 100. Have you guys seen that? I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I've not seen this year's list.
Yeah, so the NFL, it's not the Top 100. This is the NFL CBS Top 100. So what they did, Pete Prisco, what he did was he ranked all the players, top to bottom, and I'll go ahead and share it for you guys. It's a little disconcerting, not disconcerting, but the fact that we think we have a good team, we think we're doing well, but I'm just going to roll through some. These are nice players: Aaron Donald, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Cooper Kupp, Tom Brady, blah, 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 TJ Watt, Trent Williams, number 8.
What the fuck, man? We got a fifth round
I know, Dev. I'm with you, bro. He should
goddamn best player in the NFL.
He should still be in the damn burgundy and gold, man. There's no questioning that. But hey, the list continues. I want to ask you guys, where do you think the first Washington Commander player sits on this top 100 list, and who is it?
100.
Phil, go first before we proceed. Who is it, and where do they sit? Just take a guess.
Do we have somebody on there?
Terry McLaurin at 105.
Terry McLaurin at 105. Okay.
It's top 100. It can't be 105.
That's my point.
Do we have someone on the list?
All right, Dev, what do you think, Dev?
Do we have someone on the list? Because I don't believe we have one on the list. But do we have someone on the list?
We do.
All right.
We do.
I'm going to go Jonathan Allen at 96.
Yeah. Okay. If we have somebody on the list, I was making the joke we don't have anybody on the list. Jonathan Allen, like 93.
Unless they're still counting Brandon Sheriff. Unless they're still counting him.
Nope. I'm going to keep ripping these off.
It's probably Chase Young, though. He's popular, bro.
You think it's Chase Young?
I mean, I think it should. I think it should be Jonathan Allen, but I think it could be Chase Young because he's popular. He'll be in the 80s. Chase Young.
So 41 to 50.
Was Brandon Cooks in there? That's Brandon Cooks in there.
No, not yet. I know where the number lies. I'm going to keep going. We're in 50, and we still don't have one. Dak Prescott's at 50. So 51 through 60. Here we go.
J.C. Jackson in the top.
CD Lamb's at 57.
See, all right.
Now,
So
this is now. I'm telling you, this
they
is
think
one
CD Lamb's
man
better
at
than Terry.
CBS. This is one man's opinion.
CD Lamb's better than Terry.
Look at that.
Jonathan Allen.
Jonathan
61.
Allen at 61. And in this one man's opinion, one man, that's okay.
Hey, Chris Godwin's on here too. Terry ain't on here. Chris Godwin and
Chris Godwin
on here, receiver. Chris Godwin and another receiver's on here.
Yeah, I will say this: Terry holding out for a contract.
That's two more receivers in there. Chase Young's in there too. Chase Young's in there.
Chase Young, 67, and that's it. That's it. That's the only people that made the list for now. Pete Prisco.
I saw four receivers. I saw four receivers in that list already, and Deontay Johnson's
Deontay Johnson. You know what? Let's just go through the rest. DeAndre. I don't think we're putting DeAndre. Yeah,
what,
right, bro?
Hold on.
71. 71.
This is best 100 last year, though. This is just last year. It ain't like overall. It's like just last year, right? They're just going by 2022.
No, it can't because
I don't know his
metrics. You can't put Chase there at 67 after last year.
Well, he was actually having a pretty efficient year. He just wasn't sacking the quarterback.
He was, but I don't think nobody who does these rankings ever takes that into consideration.
I mean, they might. It makes sense. Because Deontay Johnson had a better year. He had a better year than Hopkins because Hopkins was out.
Kyle Pitts. Deshaun Watson didn't play last year. He's at 83. Yeah, Trevon Diggs, cornerback from the Cowboys.
They do not. I guess
Kyler Murray, 88. This list is kind of suspect.
The lesson I learned while looking at the list is that they do not drug test at CBS.
You know what?
I mean,
they don't. AJ Brown, 94. Jesse Bates.
They
DJ
lost
Moore,
all
98.
my respect when they had 5 or 6 receivers over Hopkins. What are they thinking, man?
Probably so.
Everybody knows Tress Way is better than.
And you know what, Dad? I'll give him this. I'll give Pete Prisco this one. This is what he's smoking when he's making that.
He ain't smoking weed. Weed, he would have got it right. He's smoking crack rock. He on that Bobby Brown, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Ricardo said Leno did pretty good at a cheaper rate. Yeah, Leno did do great. I'm glad he. Hey, Roger, thanks for joining the show, man. Roger Smith, good old friend. We don't have any A players in the eyes of most pundits. They still think we are dumpster fire. And you know what? That's okay. That's fair. You can't blame him for that, right? I think that's a fair assessment.
A little bit. You could blame him a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. I blame our media a lot, but that's just because it's our media and they suck.
Oh, man.
Marcus says, don't throw away the idea of him getting dealt. Seattle will pay DK 26 to 27. Do you pay Terry that? No.
Well, if the going rate until next year, because when we pay Terry 25, DK is going to demand 26 to 27.
Terry, I love you.
That's the scary thing about it.
I'm not paying Terry over $25 million. If he does, hey, Jahan Dotson,
25.5 is my cap. I would
try to work it to offer him 23.5, and if he says no, I franchise him. Then I offer him 24, and if he says no, I franchise him again. And you say no, I'm gonna trade him to Green Bay for a first because they'll do it.
Oh man,
Chicago already I heard offered my first form. I probably would have done it. Like I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I would have said Terry, please sign me. I don't want to trade you, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal Terry this year.
I don't. Yeah, I'll franchise the shit
this year. If I'm Ron Rivera, I need. You gotta understand. This is a big year for this team.
$2 million. I'm not trading him for no amount of first round unless you give me $2. He's getting paid $2 million, bro. There's no way. He's definitely way better than that. You know what I'm saying? Next year though, I'll franchise him for 2021. I promise I would. And if I'm Terry, I'll be like, that's cool. He's gonna make more money that way. I mean,
hey. Next thing. Y'all seen it, right? Warren Sapp has been in Ashburn.
He's a weed man, dog.
He's been chilling. He's been, I'll call it air quotes,
the hookers.
I mean, I don't know. We'll go back. Marcus says no to 25.
The hookers. Warren Sapp in town.
I'm going to share very quickly you
ever wonder why they don't get on Robert Kraft like they do Watson?
Check it out. You hear the audio?
Yeah. Warren's looking in shape though.
All right. I'll mess with that in a second. I'm gonna play the audio or the video of Warren Sapp. He basically is mentoring the defensive lineman, I guess you could say. He's trying to give them a good, pep talk, some good games. He's trying to hype them up. He really likes what they're doing, and I
he
think
likes Chase Young.
He loves Chase Young, man.
Chase Young.
How do y'all feel about Warren Sapp being at practice? Phil, let's go to you first.
I don't mind it. I hated Warren Sapp. I hated Warren Sapp as a player in the league because he played on his. We always seem to run into that Tampa Bay roadblock, and he was on there in the late 90s, early 2000s. So I hated him because he was good, but that's because I respect the fact that he was really good. He's Hall of Famer, right? This is a guy who made a lot of plays in his career. You bring in guys like that, right? He's somebody who it's outside the box for us to do something like that too. So I like that.
Yeah. Phil, about Warren Sapp being at practice. That bother you? Are you cool with it? Do you care?
Nah, I like Warren Sapp, man. I mean, I'd have jokes for him if I was out there, but shit, Warren Sapp said I'd hire him full time. Hell, you can't go wrong with a Hall of Fame, one of the best to ever do it, one of Miami's best ever. Yeah, no, that guy's awesome, man. On the field, that guy didn't, he was relentless, man.
Right.
He still looks good, man. He looks like he's still in shape, like he still works out, man. Still looks quick.
Give me a thumbs up if you can hear the audio.
I imagine
I can hear it.
In particular, probably.
Oh, I love them. I love those two dudes. I mean, boy, Jesus, they're just thick. They can love that bowling ball of butcher now. So now I'm just trying to get out my little two gap. Let's go forward. Let's build a camp in the backfield, 3 yards deep. Penetration kill all running plays. Penetration disrupt the timing of an offense. And no quarterback wants that kitchen in his living room. No way. I mean, come on, man. You got these ears coming off with chasing sweat. Fellas, let's set this.
Yeah. So, hey, I like it. I'm okay with it. I don't mind it. People are up in arms about it, but like you said, why would you not want a Hall of Fame defensive tackle mentoring your young defensive lineman? Like seriously, like why not?
Because why wouldn't you? Because your name is Tom Lavero, and you have to have a problem with everything this team does that could be possibly construed as a positive.
Tom Lavero sounds like a Scooby-Doo villain, bro.
Dev, you need to stop smoking that weed.
Kids.
Sounds like
if it wasn't for those pesky kids.
It's like Gilbert Godfrey and Fran Drescher had a kid. Tom Lavero.
And fed them nothing but ho-hos and
ding dongs,
fatty foods all their life.
Who's it's and what's it's galore.
Fucking.
Hey, excuse me.
Does everybody know how I feel about Tom Lavero right now?
I like Tom Lavero, though. I ain't gonna lie. He sounds like
here's the thing.
I
said this to Steve earlier. I think that if Tom Lavero never gave his political or Washington football opinions, I would like him.
Tripping. Hey, man, if Kevin Sheehan and Tom Lavero had their own podcast together, I'd watch that shit every time, man.
Hey,
they're funny as hell.
Just listen to the last 15 seconds.
Kevin tells him to fuck off all the time.
That's what's funny. It's like Charles and Kenny, man.
Listen to the last 15 seconds of this interview. Hold up.
Just work together as a unit. That's all I'm trying to get them to understand. Work together as a unit. Work every day. And what you put in this game, you'll definitely get out of it.
Is it hard for them, because sometimes you have that kind of talent, to realize the importance of working as a unit?
No, because the lone wolf dies. No wolf eats all by himself. But a pack, oh my God, you don't want them nowhere near you. So that's why I want a pack of wolves. And when they rush like wolves,
hey, I thought that Warren Sapp was in shape until I saw Montez Sweat walk by him.
Yeah. Ted lifts his jersey. He's got like a 16-pack.
Jesus Christ, man.
That's the difference between defensive tackle and defensive end right there.
Jeez, man. You got a 6-pack on a 6-pack. I don't know how that's possible.
Here's the crazy thing. We're talking about, if you want to talk about physiques, the fact that Warren Sapp was an effective defensive tackle, and the dude has no calves. Like, he has no thickness.
He's got sprinter legs, man.
He's got some chicken legs. Like, how'd that happen, bro? How?
Man, hey.
That tells you right there. That's Hall of Fame knowledge, because
Warren
for a defensive tackle, that's a physical liability. Warren Sapp
was probably smoking before the thing. He was just going on pure instinct and paranoia, bro.
No, I think that man knew what he was doing. Like, I think that tells you right there, because when you look at that, when I look at linemen, interior linemen or offensive linemen, one of the things I look at is lower body size. Your ability, because your center of gravity is very much dictated by how much weight you carry in the lower part of your body as opposed to the upper part of your body, right? Like, I can only go, my center of gravity is only so low. As when I played offensive line, I had to be really smart in my technique, because I don't have big calves either. Like, they're defined, but they're not big. Actually, it's funny. My calves are probably bigger than Warren Sapp's, but that tells you right there.
Mine definitely are. I'm bigger than Warren Sapp.
Yeah. Well, that tells you something. That if a player like Warren Sapp can be a Hall of Fame player and not have the perfect physique, that tells you he's smart and he plays with the right instincts. And these are instincts that are honed through repetition and practice.
Warren Sapp was a dog, man.
He's the perfect guy to bring on in there. I like that. Anyone who's got a problem with it, you're not looking at the reason he's there. All right. He's not there to teach morals to these guys. He's there to teach them how to play football.
Right. Well, they don't want to see that. They want everybody to be woke. Hey, I'm with it. But hey, I think America was a lot better when there was bullies in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
I'd trade a little bit of racism just to get, to get gas prices low again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would let somebody randomly maybe yell nigga out, and they see me in traffic. If I could just get $3 gas one more time, you know what I'm saying? Some bullies. We need more bullies. There was less fat kids in school when we had bullies too, bro.
That's true. It's one of the reasons why I thinned out in middle school to high school.
Hey, shame is a motherfucker, man. You shame a motherfucker, it'll make him. Hey, all the shame for wearing winner's choice shoes got me in some British Knights fast as shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, look, I can't take it anymore.
I remember winners.
I can't make. They can't make fun of my shoes no more, Mama. I went to school, got some British Knights. I had to get it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I didn't wear a pair of Nikes till I was in 7th grade because
that's cause of shame. Hey, man. Hey, a shame would make you get an S curl. If you go to school, your hair beady and never like, you know what? Not tomorrow. Give me an S curl or a Duke. What is the white person's equivalent to an S curl?
Well, I would say, okay, so like a Jerry curl would be equal to a mullet.
Yeah.
Okay. So S curl.
A shag. That's a black mullet, though. A shag is a black mullet.
Good question.
We went down the rabbit hole talking about mullets and S curls.
We've managed to circle all the way around talking about hairstyles.
What is the Asian equivalent to an S curl? You cannot hear.
Steve's muted.
You're muted, Steve. I don't know what's going on. Steve is having technical difficulties. I would like to point out, not being racist, but Steve is Asian and having the most technical difficulties of anyone.
I have internet issues. I come back and you're talking about S curls for white people, and
what is the Asian equivalent of S curls? What is an embarrassing haircut for Asian people? See, white people have the mullet, black people have the Jerry curl.
I would say the comb over.
Asians are famous for comb over.
When you don't have hair on your head, but you have like stuff bunch on your side, and they continue to grow it, and they just comb it over like that.
Yeah, that's an Asian thing, though.
I don't know if it's an Asian thing, but it was just horrendous. But Ricardo was saying, Sapp is teaching. He's not about pass rushing. Said that Sam Mills is more of a run stopping coach, and he said he's going to be back during the season. I don't know. How would you all feel about Warren Sapp being hired as a coach? Did that piss you off now?
I mean, we hired Bill Williams, and he don't do nothing with the quarterbacks.
Yeah. Marcus says, So
Let your
so
soul
glow,
glow.
girls. Let your soul glow.
I have a Jericho wig in this house somewhere too, man. I don't know where it is. Where I put it on.
Oh man. Roger Smith. Hey, what's up, Roger? Says Sapp brings the fire with enthusiasm. A Hall of Famer who's done it and knows what it takes to dominate. It's hard to recognize Sapp without the goatee. He looks different, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
With the clean shaven face.
He does.
Doesn't he?
Like,
He does look like
does.
he's dropped weight since he played. Like
I'm telling
he's still
you,
a big
he
dude,
does.
but he doesn't.
he looks good.
Which is good. I like seeing players who are like linemen who after they retired drop weight. Asians have
Ricardo
the
said
spikes.
Asians had the spikes.
White.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll
that's
tell you the
true.
white equivalent to an S curl. You ever see those dudes who this is you saw us in the 90s, but like they shaved the sides of their head, they had really curly hair, and they just kind of just let it do whatever up top, right? And it kind of would hang off to the side on both sides. They part it in the middle. Now you see it, that same brillo shit you see a lot of these white kids doing right now up top. That's the equivalent to an S curl right there. Is the shaved sides and the curly top. I don't know what you call that, but I see a lot of these brillo headed looking white kids in the gym, bunch of SARM goblins.
I don't know what that is.
Tell us how you really feel. Phil.
Right.
Hey, so let's talk
Full
about
of it tonight.
Hey, upcoming minicamp schedule and practice at FedEx Field. So for y'all know, the Commanders today released their minicamp / training camp / practice schedule at FedEx Field later in August. Really cool stuff. I want to go ahead and share it with you guys. And when it's done, I'm going to go here. So for this year, training camp 22, they're going to have training camp at Ashburn. It's in Ashburn this year, which is pretty awesome. It's going to run from the July 27th through August 18th. And it's going to have a free practice at FedEx Field and a series of practices at Ashburn. They're going to be partnering with their traditional partners, FedEx, Bank of America, Pepsi. No Richmond. They're in Ashburn. There's
that's good. That was because the contract expired.
But I mean, there's a school of thought. So back in the day when I was growing up, they played in Frostburg, and they always did joint practice with Pittsburgh. Phil, you know this.
Yeah.
And they got away from the hometown.
Well, before Frostburg, take it one step further, and they did the joint with Pittsburgh all the time. Before Frostburg, it was up in Carlisle, Dickinson College.
We're supposed to do one with the Buffalo Bills this year. Then the McKissick happened.
Yeah. So, hey, I will tell you right now, if you haven't already done so, and if you're in the DMV area, go get your free tickets to the FedEx Field free practice event Saturday, August 5th. I just put the comments below. I just typed it in there. August 6th, 6:45 to 9 p.m. Gates open at 4:30 p.m. Open to the public. You got to get it through Ticketmaster. It's going to be pretty cool. I just got 5 tickets today for my family. It's just an excuse to tailgate. Phil, if you want to come up, you're welcome to stay with us. You just say the word. But it's just a practice. But I think it'll be cool.
Is it an evening practice like that one, or is it going to be a daytime?
No, it's a nighttime practice, 6:45 to 9.
All right, I might just come up after work then.
So it should be pretty cool. They're gonna basically all the tickets are free of charge. I haven't seen anything about parking. I'm gonna assume parking's free too, but you never know with this team. You never know. So sign up. The comments are in the chat. It'd be cool to see everybody there. That'd be pretty awesome. If I go, that'd be a pretty cool another vlog opportunity, a little vlog opportunity. But so London Fletcher, Julie Donaldson. On the August 6th event, they're gonna narrate practice for everyone in the stands who are sitting around. So I'm guessing they'll be on the loudspeaker. There'll be some alumni walking around the area. We're gonna see performances from the new marching band. We're kind of favorable to the marching band. We'll probably readdress that topic later in the summer with an old friend of the show who was in the marching band previously, my boy Chop Chop, who was a tuba player we've interviewed him before on the show.
What was Phil doing? Was that epilepsy? What was it?
I was playing drums.
Playing drums.
Oh,
so
okay.
we'll see how the band's gonna be.
We got to play. This is like marching band drums. This is regular drums.
It looked
We're going to see the marching band. We're going to see the Commanders entertainment team. They're gonna unveil the Command the Canvas art installation project featuring local DMV artists. We're going to see a variety of food and beverages across the main concourse. Purchased at the club level, you're going to have something called the Taste of FedEx Field, which is going to spotlight, a bunch of local DMV food vendors available to fans. If you remember, Nats Park kind of did this too. Nats Park kind of brought in, Phil, you know this, a lot of the local prominent vendors into the stadium. Ben's Chili Bowl. There's some sushi. There's some really good places in Nats Park that they've done this
brew or a DC brew.
So I think it's pretty cool that they're actually doing this. Bringing in the local community to the stadium, which is really good, because before all you had was Dan Snyder's Lame, Johnny Rockets, and you had some Green Turtle, and that was about it. So if they diversify the food section, hey, I'm all for it. I think it'd be pretty cool. Excuse me. Ricardo said he's got his tickets. He got 6. Good to see. Hey, I'll see you there, bro. I will see you there. Marcus says it's the same weekend as my family reunion. So I'm guessing, Marcus, are you going to be in Kentucky, near Louisville, near where Dev is, near Bowling Green? That's the real question. Ricardo says I'm glad they're back. So we got to figure that out.
Man, Marcus and I, we have a lot of friends in common, man. I think one of his close friends was my roommate in college, man.
That's right. But long story short, the summation of this segment is what we're trying to say is that the team is back. They're bringing the community into the stadium. We don't know where the new stadium is. They're trying to engage the DMV to come into FedEx Field. So I like that they're making these moves. I was there for Monster Jam last week on Saturday. It was awesome. The stadium looks so cool. They redid the entire Ring of Fame. So everything's now in kind of new Commanders font, whatever the font is for the Commanders. And the old signs for all the Ring of Fame is different. It's all new people now, which is really cool. The W splattered everywhere. It was just awesome. We had club level seats, which were only $25, which is pretty cool. But beautiful, beautiful decorations everywhere. So I really, really like what they did with FedEx Field. They have these.
Does it feel like it's actually been refreshed?
I think like it had. Well, I was at the club level, so the club level is always fresh. I didn't go down to the main concourse. I'm over there for that split second, so hard to say. I'm not gonna lie, hard to say. Club level's always fresh, but they have these new sections. Excuse me, behind the end zones. And I'm splurge and get some tickets because they have these tables. So it's like a table and 2 seats where you can sit behind the end zone up on the 3rd level, club level. That's crazy cool. It's a little mini table and 2 seats. That's pretty sick. So I don't know. I like what they're doing with the stadium. It's going to be pretty cool. Maybe one day we'll have Joey Kobe Begovich on here and he can give us a rundown of what's in store for upcoming season.
We need to be sponsored by a marijuana provider and we call it like the hot box.
Dev always
only a matter of time, Dev. Before I think a stadium, a venue, or something is going to be linked to weed.
I mean, all of Miami is linked to cocaine, so I don't know why that's out of the realm of possibility.
The Miami Dolphins just be called like basically the Blow Stadium,
right? Yeah,
White Girl Stadium,
right?
Just make up
loud pack arena.
Yeah. But Deb, we got to get you up here for a game one day, man. I don't know when it's going to be. How it's going to be.
I don't like football games live. They're lame. I don't like them.
Get you one. If Washington ever plays, I don't know, what's the close stadium to you? Is it Kentucky or Tennessee?
Tennessee's only like the stadium.
We're all converging there, man. We are converging there.
First of all, because I think Steve's tired of me hyping up these cities I go to.
Yeah.
The Tennessee is a great place, man.
Nashville. First of all, Nashville, fantastic place. the light here doesn't quite show it, but your boy came back from Charleston, South Carolina over the weekend with a rich mahogany veneer.
Yes.
Hey man, you don't want to get too dark. Your credit score gonna start dropping.
Ricardo says, I'm calling Denver to be the team linked to weed. That's probably your best bet. Denver's probably the one. Highlight Stadium. I don't know what you want to call it. You can get so crappy.
The hot box. The hot box is all you need
stadium.
To do.
Not. Yeah. You just need like once Amazon or one of these big brands company jumps on the cannabis train.
Have a stadium built shaped like an ashtray.
It's over. It's over. It's coming. Yeah. It's over. Well, fellas, let's go ahead and shut this one down, man. This was a great episode. We talked about mostly wide receivers and Terry. A lot of contentious arguments about where Terry fits in the top 100, the top wide receivers of the league, where he fits, where the Redskins / Washington football team / Commanders fit in the overall top 100 that was released by Pete Prisco. Where does Terry fit contract on? He ain't showing up. Now, I will say that, and I don't know the name, but all the local media release, there's a national media guy who's been attending today Commanders practices, and when he's around, he's very into contracts. And that guy tweeted today, I think his name is Jeremy something. He tweeted that talks have intensified and they expect a deal to get done before training camp. So,
so do I. I don't think Terry's missing any training camp. It's going to get done.
That guy also said either before training camp or the next 2 months too. Like that's a vague as fuck. Like obviously it's going to be, it just.
There you go, Ricardo. He nailed it.
There you go. Jeremy Fowler. Thank you, Ricardo.
Yeah, horrible.
Jeremy Fowler.
Horrible.
So, hey, shout out to everyone who punched in today. Ricardo Reynolds, go check out the group Washington Commanders Fanatics on Facebook. Just hit the search button, type that in, and you'll join. Go hit that group up. Marcus Edelin Sports Group View 2. Go hit them up. Roger Smith, thank you for joining. Ricardo, Marcus Davis, old friend of the show. Thank you very much. Greg Delaney, thank you for watching.
Oh, y'all.
Derek Manning, the Burgundy Boss, thank you for tuning in. And we appreciate everybody. I don't know how it's going to be in the offseason. It's going to be a little bit quiet between probably like now and when they start actual practices come July 27th. But hey, here on Command This, we're trying to diversify our content. We're giving you not just Commanders content. We're talking general sports. We're also doing top fives every Tuesday. We've done top 5 video games ever, top 5 supervillains ever, top 5 theme songs. We're just ripping off these different cool subjects. So if you have an idea to talk about, please put it in the chat comments below. We'll talk about it on Tuesday. We're just trying to keep the content fresh, something a little different than, trying to diversify our bonds, just like everyone else, like no one else is doing. Trying to just veer away from some of the Washington Commanders content from time to time and just talk about stuff that's cool that we love to talk about. Like villains was great. Dev likes Cobra Commander. Like who would have thought Dev likes Cobra Commander? I'm a big Thanos fan. Phil's a Doomsday fan. Phil's a Joker's fan. Like, go check it out on the YouTube channel. That's all I'm going to say.
I would have said me, but I'm an ultra villain. We all know this.
Phil is the ultra villain. That is true.
That
is very true.
Dr. Manhattan's my favorite villain.
Roger, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Ricardo, hey, man, nothing but love. Ricardo's my brethren. Hey, Ricardo is doing the Lord's work as a mailman. He's delivering in Silver Spring. God bless you, man. He's getting the
man, if Ricardo only knew who I work for,
shine, sleet or snow. God bless you, Ricardo.
I work for. I will put this out in the world. I work for a postal contractor. So
yeah. So hey, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in.
Homeboy Shopping Network.
Hey, we love you guys as always. Peace and hail.
W.
Peace.